in case Slasher Sundays wasn't enough, I have started Monster Mondays. Where I will go from here, I don't know if I'm going to tack something on like a Werewolf Wednesday. Yeah, honestly, if there was enough werewolf movies, I've seen the majority of werewolf movies out there. There just isn't a ton. So I don't know. Maybe I could just do that until I run out. But for now, it's Slasher Sundays and Monster Mondays. Monsters can be a whole collection of different things. So I'll definitely have a lot of room to play with what a monster is. Now, this is a film I've only seen one other time in my life. And I remember enjoying it back in the day. But Kino, this company that makes these, Kino Lorber, I don't know how to say it. Anyway, they do a lot of the Mario Bava stuff. And I adore their Mario Bava transfers. Holy shit. I bought every single Mario Bava Kino Blu-ray I could because I just think their transfers are gorgeous. And when I saw that this was done by them, I was like, oh man, that would be really cool to see. Done with that much clarity. It's a 4K transfer. And some shots, like, I think this is just film quality, like, you know, stock that they had, and they could only do so much with certain footage, and other footage was still in good condition. So it varies throughout the film. Some of it looks excellent, and some of it looks really grainy and poor. But it's to be expected on a film this old and this low budget. I mean, this is a low budget monster film. This was one of Clive Barker's first efforts here. And I just think that Rawhead Rex is terrifying. Like, the monster in this film is very, very scary. If I was to put myself out there with this thing, holy shit. This thing is enormous and just vicious and has no conscience and no soul. This thing is just there to feed and maim and murder and kill and rip and tear and bite, and goes on and on and on. But let's get into the movie. I thought that Howard was a really good lead. As I said, I only saw this like 20 years ago, 50. It's been a long, long time, so my memory on it is pretty hazy. There's only one scene that I remember, and I was like, is it in here? Did I remember? Oh yeah, it's here. If anyone has seen this, hopefully this is spoiler review, so you'll probably know what scene I remember. The monster himself, I think, looks really good. Yes, you know, it looks like a mask at times, and I can see people being like, oh, this is a cheesy monster movie. I get that, but not really. I mean, the facial movements in it are impressive. I think, like, there's so many cool attributes to Rawhead Rex, and in addition to that, the practical effects makeup work that's being done here. His eyes blink, you know, his mouth moves. A lot of monster movies, especially like lower budget stuff, it's usually just like a stationary mask. It doesn't have a lot of movement. Sometimes they'll let the jaw open and shut by the actor inside's mouth movements. But you don't usually get like blinking and facial movements, like some parts of his face like move when he gets really angry. And that's really good makeup and you know, prosthetic work. I thought he just looked great. I love the and the visual effects too. While they are dated, obviously, I thought they were actually really cool, and I don't feel like they made the film look overly dated. Especially the ring around his eyes, the red glowing circles. I thought that was actually really impressive for like 1986, I think. I was surprised by how good that looked. And then at the end, you get the whatever the hell's going on with that blue light that's coming out of the girl. It has to be a woman thing. Actually, for some reason, it really worked for me. I liked the visuals. It looked really pretty and cool. And I don't know. It was just, even though, yes, it is dated, I thought it actually really fit the film and the way it looked, and it was a cool shot. And there's so like, I just watched so many horror movies where the men, I guess just men, are labeled as shitty in so many films, especially when it's just like one-dimensional characters. Men are always just bastards. And there's this guy in this movie who just keeps pushing his girlfriend to try to fuck. She's like, I want to talk to you seriously. And he like takes her out, and he's just like, uh-huh. And he's just like pushing her up against a tree and, you know, kissing on her. And it's just, God, guys in these movies are such pieces of shit. No means no, fuck off. I've never been with a girl and her be like, no. And I'm like, oh, but come on, babe. As soon as a girl says no, you stop instantly. I have no more interest in it. As soon as they're like, I don't know. Even if they're just like, nah, I don't even ever try to even talk them past that. I'm just like, nope, okay, cool. I'm not going to be accused of something later. I'm not going to push you past your comfort level. I'm not, you know, I don't know. I just watch these movies all the time, and there's a common occurrence here is these dickheads being like, oh, come on, baby, come on. And it's like, is that how most guys are? It's fuck, man. No wonder Lifetime's a thing. Lifetime, oh, those movies. Men are awful. I bring them up a lot, but it's just, they make me laugh. I like how the girl is out with her boyfriend. He's trying to fucking get in her pants no matter what, and they hear something. They see the dead body, so they both run off together. And I guess the guy sees the monster, Rawhead Rex, and she does not. And he bites into the guy's arm and detaches his hand, so the girl keeps running. And at first it looks like the girl just doesn't care, and she just doesn't stop for her boyfriend at all. And then when she gets there, she shows like the hand and screams and drops it, so she is, you know, it's suggesting that she didn't even notice. But it's like, really? You didn't feel the difference in like weight and pull and resistance? I mean, she's terrified, she's running, she's not really thinking straight, she feels the hand in her hand. But I liked originally the way I saw it, that she just was like, I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care if there's I don't care about this guy. He got him. Good. Slows him down so that I can get away. That's how I saw it originally, but I guess it is that she just didn't see it and she sees the hand. But I laughed out loud actually at the thing. Like, she didn't even stop. That's how I saw it, and I was laughing my ass off. And we got a kid death here, man. You don't get many of those, ever. And you think it's going to be the little girl to distract him, pull the parents away, and then Rawhead Rex just goes in the car, and you think like he's going to get there, he's going to scare him off, he's going to be like, hey, and the guy's going to look up. Nope. Grabs the kid and just fucking kills him. Like, the guy looks down, his shoe's on the ground. I don't know if his foot's in there or not, but that kid is gone. And so then starts the vengeful father storyline, which, of course, I can always relate to. Like, you killed my kid, you're going down. I don't give a fuck where you're from. I don't care how tall you are. I don't care what powers you have. I will end you. The whole time I was watching this thing, I was like, who the hell played Rawhead Rex? That dude is huge. And I looked it up. The guy is like 6'11", and it makes sense. And then, like, the mask or whatever sits like on top of his head, because the neck is like basically probably the guy's face, and then like Rawhead Rex's head is so big and tall that it probably makes him like 7'4" or 5". But he's just a terrifying presence. He's just, I like how he wears an outfit. I don't know what that's supposed to be suggesting, that he was once a man and it like hulked out of the leather suit he was wearing. He's ancient, but somehow he's wearing like a leather suit. Who knows? Just got back from like a Motley Crue concert. I like it. It looks really cool. I'm just trying to think of it as like an in-universe thing. Like, why is he wearing like a leather rocker outfit? It's weird, right? I mean, it's odd that he's wearing that outfit. Do I think aesthetically it is flattering to the monster, or does it make him look cool and what? Yeah, absolutely, sure. But why is he wearing it? I mean, really, think about it. It's like, doesn't really all make that much sense, but it doesn't matter. I was laughing thinking about it when I was watching the movie. Now, getting to the scene that I remembered, the baptism scene with the priest. He like, entrances him with his eyes, which he uses a couple times throughout the movie, which is a hell of a power to have. On top of being basically indestructible, you can control other people who come in to save the day when anyone's trying to attack you. But he pisses on a priest with like horse piss, man. This shit is just pouring out. It's like a super soaker of fucking demon urine. And this guy's just taking it. And he's like, yes! And it's like a priest in a graveyard outside a church, and a demon's pissing on his face after he murdered a child. This movie's fucking evil. I really enjoyed this movie because I'm a sick son of a bitch. But yeah, that was the scene I remembered. And man, it didn't let me down. Horse piss on the face. That was awesome. And then Rawhead Rex like turns around in the middle of it like, how dare you, interrupt my urine baptism. And just runs out the guy. Terrifying. The whole teeth behind the teeth thing. Like, he opens up his mouth and you can see a mouth inside. Almost like, a xenomorph from Alien. I don't know if, like, that's obviously, they made it part of the costume, mask, whatnot. I don't know if that's actually the actor inside's mouth and they just put, like, crazy teeth in it or what. Or they couldn't figure out a way to... I don't know. It's cool, though. It looks cool. At first, it's kind of like, oh, I can see the actor's mouth back there. And then when you look closer, you're like, no, I think that's on purpose. I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing. But, yeah, right? That's supposed to be there. It's like a second mouth inside. I don't know which way it's supposed to be. Like, is that we're not supposed to see that? I don't know. But I thought it looked cool. And... the whole, like, it has to be a woman thing. It's fine. I don't... It's not really explained all that much. It doesn't really need to be. But that's it. I mean, it's the fucking, Witch King of Agmar, Palanthero Fields in Lord of the Rings. With, Eowyn. I am no man. Stabs him in the face. It's kind of one of those moments. And it's fine. I don't know. When I saw it, I was just like, how do I feel about this? It's fine. It's, it didn't throw me off all that much, but it was just kind of like, okay, that's the reason. There you go. But I do feel like if this thing is all powerful, maybe, I don't know, like the guy touches the thing and it burns his hands and he can't get it open, then he pulls it open, then he can touch the thing. I feel like no man should have been able to touch it. Like, it should have just burned his hands, and he's like, I don't know. Like, I feel like this is the thing that would kill it, and then the wife could have came in and picked that up, and he would have been like, how can you touch it? Oh, it's a woman. I think that would have made more sense. Why he can touch it and bring it outside. I mean, he can't power it up, but still, it's like, why did it burn it on the outside of the box, and then in the inside, when he actually touches the thing itself, it doesn't burn him? I don't understand that. That makes no sense. And then as far as, like, the whole fake out, like, final scare, which I'm not a big fan of. I say that a lot, but the final scare with the kid in the graveyard putting flowers on the dude's grave that he didn't seem to get along with all that much. I think that was who it was, right? The guy who was trying to, like, rape his sister outside. The final scare kind of takes away from what she accomplished. Like, she goes and she gets this thing, and, like, a woman comes out and all this, lights coming out, and it's guy making him go back down into the ground, back into his slumber. And then at the end, he just pops right back out of the ground. Like, within, that kid's still the same age, so it hasn't barely any time has passed, and he just pops right back up. And it's like, now that thing's underground and we're all fucked. But it's like, I don't know, I feel like it takes away from the scene of her coming in and saving the day. It's like she didn't really do anything. She just, like, put it on hold for a minute so they could get out of town, and then everyone else in town was fucked. So, I don't know. It just took away from that whole thing. That scene where she is calling on the forces of women power or whatever, and all the gravestones around him line up, and earlier in the movie you have, like, the Stonehenge type thing that releases Rawhead Rex. When all those light up and they, like, attack him, it really reminded me of Conal Cochran's demise in Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, when the TVs all light up and then it goes to the Stonehenge stone and he gets zapped and he's like gonna smile and he just, you know, zaps out of existence. It kind of reminded me of that a little bit. And I really like the look of Rawhead Rex when he's drained of life, when she sucks all the life out of him. It almost looks like Pumpkinhead for like a split second. But I just liked the look of him when he was all like just old looking and drained of life. It was cool. It was a cool effect. Like they would have had to probably go and make an entire different costume, or at least a completely new prosthetic head, to get that look, that whole body look. So they took the time just for like a 10-15 second scene to make it look like he has had all the power drained or whatever. And I thought that was cool attention to detail. It looked really effective, and I really appreciated that. I don't feel like that's something a lot of people would even acknowledge, the fact that they would have to do it again, a whole new thing just to make him look like that, or at least like take what they had and repaint it and respray it and all that. But it still would be tough. And as I said, it looked cool too as well. And yeah, I think that's about it. Cool movie. I'm glad I own it. It's got a really fun feel to it, Irish setting. I like the long sweeping shots of the countryside and whatnot. Very much feels like Ireland. What do you guys think? Big fans of Rawhead Rex out there? I don't know. I rarely talk to anyone who talks about this movie at all. Oh my god, I never see this film talked about. So yeah, all right guys,